I'm Jim Bergren, pastor at Holy Cross Lutheran Church, and this is Pentecost 13 in the C series. Following Jesus is not always easy. He knew that some were following him and highly committed, and even then their commitment was driven by their cherished ideas of what the future should be in a messianic age. Others enjoyed his celebrity status. He was challenging. He was entertaining. We always enjoy the cachet of recalling the amazing shows and rock stars or circuses that we've seen. Dude, I almost got trampled getting tickets for Michael Jackson. Yeah, well, I saw Jeff Beck and Stevie Ray Vaughan in a duet on the small stage at Fitzgerald's. The apostle business was tricky. Jesus wasn't interested in a highly competitive, spin-doctoring public relations team promoting a revolutionary new Messiah. And they were in a position to pool some resources, marshal support, and clear a path to the highest office with shekels and swords. That was their cherished good idea about what could happen. Jesus advises to detach from all that stuff. Chill out. Take up your cross. Simply follow his lead. The holiest followers wanted to smash sin. Jesus said, smashing is a sin. The revolutionaries wanted to fight the bad guys. Jesus said, if you fight them, you join them. 3 words here: rules of engagement. Fair ways to do unfair deeds. And here's a thought. If you want to get rid of your enemies and change despicable sinners, pray for them, forgive them, and love them. Try that. It works. Hate your temporary notions and love God. That word hate. It pops up just enough to make me really uncomfortable. In my family of origin, using that word was, well, it was about the dirtiest, nastiest 4-letter word you could use. It was associated with dark, enraged, violent feelings of animosity. Why would Jesus even say the word hate? Old Testament usage of the word hate indicates turning away from, detaching oneself from. It's a rational measurement of degree of involvement, not a violent emotion. It means not quite love so much, less loved, or less focused on, or less appreciative of. Simply set aside as less important. In Genesis 29, 30 and 31, we hear that Jacob was in love with Rachel, emotionally. But during their wedding, her father Laban substituted the older sister Leah in the walk up the aisle. Jacob had to wait 7 more years of working to seal the deal that got him Rachel as a wife also. So Leah would never be the first choice, except that God chose her first to be the wife that bore the most children in Jacob's family. She was not hated at all like we use the word. She was simply loved less than Jacob loved Rachel, who he chose and picked first. And yet, certainly she must have worked the hardest. She birthed 6 boys and a girl. Her name in Hebrew means tired or fatigued. In the future, her 6 boys would represent 6 tribes, 1/2 of the nation of Israel. She was less important to Jacob emotionally, but she gave him 7 children: Reuben, Simeon, Levi, Judah, Issachar, Zebulun, and a girl, Dinah. There must have been something Jacob liked about her. A few weeks ago in Adult Forum, we did an exercise where we listed on a chalkboard the most important words in our lives, which at different times occupied our time and gave us meaning and filled us with passion and joy. We put these words in balloons connected to a stick figure. Words that gave us meaning and dominated our attention were parents, siblings, house, bicycle, school, music, garden, pets, high school yearbook, marriage, children, books. The list filled the board. They're all wonderful words and wonderful things. In their time, they held us up in the air with meaning and joy. But they're not ultimate. They are penultimate. You may outlive your parents. You and your siblings currently arguing. The house you grew up in isn't even there anymore. It's a parking lot. Or maybe it's a field of grain. You outgrew the old bicycle and you graduated from school. You got busy with life, so you didn't play or listen to music nearly as much as you did. Forgot to water the garden, it shriveled up in the heat. Unless you have a turtle or a parrot to leave in your will, you're going to outlive most of your beloved pets. Your high school yearbook didn't even help at the reunion, but the name tags did. Marriages do end, and children move away. But you still have books until your eyes give out. And the balloons pop, and you drift down to land on the foundation word of all reality, the Logos, Jesus Christ, the Word. Heaven and earth will pass away, Jesus says, but my words never will. Jesus is simply calling us to attention. Well, and then to partnership. Our ultimate loyalty is to Jesus. He's sometimes called Christ the Mediator. There are churches with that name. It's a great reminder that Jesus stands in the midst of us in every situation. A marriage without Christ the Mediator, standing in the middle of it, will suffer without forgiveness. Temporary emotions will get in the way. Same with a friendship. A therapy or a legal contract will somehow take on more importance and be more binding with the mutual recognition of the presence of Christ the Mediator in the deal. So we're to let important realities be graciously modified or set aside in light of the ultimate loyalty we enjoy with Christ the Mediator. It has a byproduct. Working through that, over time, we discover and enjoy more effective loyalty in the horizontal world of relationships with things, ideas, ourselves, and other people. It's a call to rational covenant behavior based on our relationship to Jesus. Emotional attachments are wonderful when they lead us to rational decisions to do the right thing no matter what. Of course, we love our families with deep emotions. They remind us that they are gifts to us from God. And even when families are a difficult burden, Jesus carries us through and strengthens bonds of love. Of course, we love to create and build things like towers, like houses. God gives us the strength and resources to do these things. We have emotions of ambition. Don't forget to budget and go out on a limb. Plan ahead. It's still God's future. Of course we get angry, individually, and by extension, nationally. We have emotions of revenge. We're defending sacred space given to us by God. Christ the Mediator says, okay, count your anticipated losses. Talk it over with the other party or nation. Bend your will and find your peace together. Jesus talks about a transformed relationship to everything and everyone that we depend on to define who we are. With Christ the mediator, we can be reformed and renewed within a wider context of loyalty. That new loyalty will break the selfish holds that prior affiliations and connections have over how we live. Faith is relinquishment, not striving. Everyone should know how to swim. Nevertheless, even the best swimmers can easily get into trouble in the water. It's not our element. The lifeguard can't save you unless you go limp as instructed. But the odds are in that situation you will panic. You'll be flailing, inhaling, and gulping water in and out of control. The lifeguard, to avoid drowning himself, is instructed to approach you underwater where you don't want to be, grab your legs and turn you, coming up behind you, holding you in place, to firmly wrap you up and swim you to safety. He is in control. Christ the mediator has us. Even exhaling is faith that God will give you another breath. Relinquish control over life itself, and real living in discipleship begins. Amen.